Hello everyone, how are you? Today I want all of you to look here, okay, together on this page. Let's look here, let's have a look here on this page, okay? That's unit 10, page 100. That's page 100, okay? Wonderful. That's page 100. I want all of you to open your book, your pupil's book on page 100. And let's look here. So the first question for you, how many pictures can you see? That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we have here 4 pictures. This picture number 1, picture number 2, picture number 3, and finally picture number 4. Okay, so let's look here. What's this? What's this? Excellent, it's a rocket. Yes, but this rocket takes people to space, to outer space. Okay, you know space just like that. That's the Earth. That's our planet Earth, and that's the surrounding space here. So this rocket, we do not say it's a rocket. It's called a space shuttle. A space shuttle. Great. Now, who is this man? Does anyone recognize him? Who is this man? He's the same here. Wonderful. Yes, he is an astronaut. Astronaut. What does astronaut mean? Who knows the answer? Yes, astronaut means the ones who goes into space shuttle and after that goes to space. Wow, wonderful. Now let's look here at him. Who's he? Does anyone know who's he? Great. If you have just a look here, you'll find that he's called Prince Sultan bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. Really? Yes. Do you know that he is Saudi and he is a prince? Wow, wonderful. He also was the first person ever, the first Muslim ever, and the first Saudi to travel to space. Wow, that's great. Do you want to travel to space like him? So, let's have a look here about his key important things in his life. Okay, so let's start with these. These are called key dates, meaning the most important things that happened in his life. I want you to pay a good attention here because we're gonna listen now, and after that I'm gonna ask you a question or two about this. Okay, so let's listen together.
CD 3 Poster 10 and Pupils Book Unit 10, page 100. Reading Space Pioneers. Prince Sultan bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, astronaut, the first Arab in space. This photograph shows Prince Sultan in his spacesuit. Key dates: 27th of June, 1956. Born in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. 1982. Started work at the Ministry of Information in Saudi Arabia. 1985. Joined the Royal Saudi Air Force. 17th of June, 1985. Flew into space on the Space Shuttle. 24th of June, 1985. Returned to Earth. 1996. Left the Royal Saudi Air Force. 2000. Became the Minister of Tourism in Saudi Arabia.
Now, excellent. Yes, so let's have some information about this great man. We call him a space pioneers. Pioneers. Okay, what does pioneer mean? Pioneer mean. Okay, pioneer mean the first person ever to go to a place. The first person ever to go to a place or to do something amazing, great. Now, why is he a pioneer? Because who can remember the answer? Because there are two reasons. Great, he was the first. He was the first Saudi to travel ever, and also he was the first Muslim to travel ever. And there's another thing we will learn later. Now, let's look here. I'm just gonna ask you some questions about the most important key dates, as I promised you. What happened in 1996? What happened in 1996? I'm waiting for your answer. Great, he left the Royal Saudi Air Force. Great, wonderful. Now we're gonna listen to this part here, and I'm gonna ask you some questions.
Prince Sultan flew into space in the Space Shuttle in 1985. Prince Sultan bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud was born in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, on the 27th of June, 1956. His father is King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. Prince Sultan's education was in Saudi Arabia and the United States. He went to school in Riyadh, and then he went to the University of Denver in the United States. He graduated from the University of Denver. And a few years after that, he went to Syracuse University and studied for a master's degree. In 1982, he started working at the Ministry of Information in Saudi Arabia. In 1985, he was chosen as an astronaut to go on the space shuttle. Only very fit people could fly on the space shuttle. You could not be too heavy. You had to be young enough and fit enough. He went to NASA in the United States, and he trained at the Johnson Space Center in Houston.
Okay, let me ask you a question here. Okay, did he study in Britain? Did he study in Britain? Great, the answer is no. So, where did he study? He's excellent. He studied in Saudi Arabia and the United States. Great. Now let me ask you another question. Okay. Can anyone fly on a space shuttle? Can anyone fly on the space shuttle? Yes or no? The answer is clear. No. Why? Because here only very fit people could fly on the space shuttle. Great. Let's complete our reading here today, and I'm gonna ask you some other questions.
It was a very intensive program, and it lasted for 2 months. Prince Sultan orbited the Earth in the space shuttle. On the 17th of June, 1985, the space shuttle took off. It orbited the Earth many times. He was in space for 7 days, 1 hour and 38 minutes. There were 6 other astronauts in the space shuttle from the United States and France. Prince Sultan helped to release an Arabsat satellite, which stayed in orbit around the Earth. He became the first Arab in space, the first Muslim in space, and the youngest person to fly on the space shuttle. He was only 28. While he was in space, he spoke on the radio telephone to his uncle, King Fahd of Saudi Arabia. Most of the conversation was in English, but some of it was in Arabic, so he was also the first person to speak Arabic in space. Prince Sultan has 3 children, and he has a successful career in Saudi Arabia. He is still interested in space exploration, and he is famous in the Middle East and around the world as the first Arab to fly into space. People still call him the astronaut prince. The last space shuttle took off on the 21st of July 2011. You can't fly on the space shuttle now. Soon there will be other types of aeroplane going into space. There will be many people from Saudi Arabia going on those flights. Prince Sultan was the first Arab to go into space, but he won't be the last.
Wonderful. Now let's move here to my question. Okay, and the first one is gonna answer faster. He's gonna win a big sticker. I'm gonna give him a big sticker when I see him, inshallah. Okay, so how long did he stay in space? How long means how many days? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How long did he stay in space? Wonderful. He was in space for 7 days. For 7 days. Great. Now let me ask you another question. Great. He became the first, look here, the first Arab in space. Yes, he's not only the first Saudi, he was the first Arab. Okay. Also, he was the first Muslim in space. Great. What else? And also, he was the youngest person to fly in space shuttle. Is there any other information? I'm waiting for you. Read faster. Yes, great. He was also the first person to speak Arabic in space. Great. Wonderful. Now, let's move to another important part. The last part here, we're gonna listen. These are also some pioneers. Do you remember what does pioneer mean? Great. Pioneer means the first one to go to a place. We have here other 3 famous pioneers. Okay, let's listen.
Important men and women in the history of space exploration. Yuri Gagarin, Russia, the first man in space, the first orbit of the Earth, the 12th of April, 1961. Valentina Tereshkova, Russia, the first woman in space, the 16th of June, 1963. Neil Armstrong, America, the first man on the moon, the 21st of July, 1960.
Great. Now let's recap what we took today. First, we learned a lot about space travel here. Okay, and we learned about one of the most famous Saudis and one of the greatest Saudis here. He's Prince Sultan bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. Excellent. And we said, what's his job? Yes, his job was astronaut. Astronaut. Great. And he traveled to space. That's space. Okay. He traveled how? Yes, on a space shuttle. Great. And we learned more information about him. We learned that he was a pioneer. What does pioneer mean? I think I said more than one time. Okay, now what are we going to do now? After listening to all of this, we are going to move to the next page. Okay, our next page here, we have here some questions. I want all of you to get ready to answer all these questions, and I'm waiting for your answers, okay, on WhatsApp. Great, thanks a lot for listening and being here with me. Thanks a lot.